Check it out. Co-powered by the new Nissan Terrano. Smarter, bolder.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Tech It Out, which this week is dedicated to all you lovely ladies out there.
We are lovely, aren't we, Sahil?
Well, there's always an exception, but the rest of you are just amazing, and that's why in this episode we're exploring technology that won't only empower you but will also ensure your safety.
And we get you the review of the all-new LG G6 smartphone.
All this and much more only on Tech It Out.
It's no secret that women in India are vulnerable targets of crime and violence.
In fact, studies have showed that 1 in 3 women will experience some form of violence in their lifetime.
In India, it's appropriately described as a pandemic. Even as we move toward protecting and recognizing the right of all people, the problem of crime against women remains a concern.
Fortunately, technology has provided useful tools for women to protect themselves and to take their safety into their own hands.
When traveling alone, it's best to raise your guard, stay safe, stay alert, and use that piece of technology that entertains you and lies very comfortably in your pocket or your purse. Yes, we're talking about your smartphone.
So keeping that in mind, here are a few apps that might just help you if you land in an uncomfortable situation.
The issue of women's safety in India and globally has been the part of various topics, conversations and policies for years now. And with increasing concerns, there's also been a growth of awareness among people, which has led to a rapid usage of technology and apps that can implement women's safety. Now, no doubt technology has the ingrained potential of ensuring women's safety, and therefore a group of companies have come together to find ways to expand the tools and apps that can ensure women's safety. So we thought it's time we get you the best 3 apps for women's safety here at Tech It Out, which will make sure that women get the help they need much more quickly and easily.
Whenever girls think of going out, partying or having fun, the next thing they have to worry about is reaching home safely. Also, in places like pubs, bars and nightclubs, it's not very surprising if females get some unwanted attention. So for situations like these, technology comes to the rescue, and I've just got the right app for you.
You can have this app on both iOS and Android phones. The main highlight of this app, like many other safety apps, is that you can send your location to your friends and family, and whenever you feel like you're not safe, you can open this app, press the alert button, and in no time your location will reach near and dear ones. But yes, you have to select few names that you would want to send alert to as soon as you install the app. Another very interesting and my personal favorite and most convenient one is the appearance of fake calls on screen. You just open the app, click on fake calls and enter any name. The app gives you an option of after how long you want the fake call to appear on screen. If you want the fake call to appear immediately, you can simply click in Call Now and fake a phone call and safeguard yourself by pretending someone is actually coming to pick you up or something. This app also allows you to use timer mode to program an automatic alarm that will trigger if you have not checked in time. The only drawback of this app is it doesn't really work without data. So if you are stuck somewhere with no internet connection, then maybe this app can't really help, but otherwise, this app works perfectly to ensure your safety.
Be Safe is the ultimate safety app. It helps you build your safety network. It puts safety in your hands and ensures that you are safe and so are your loved ones.
Problems related to women's safety is not unique to our country. Now there are cities where post-sunset you see no women on streets. And once you start residing in metro cities, coming back late from work, visiting various places and moving in and shifting out becomes a daily routine. Now Safety Pin is a map-based mobile phone app that crowdsources and maps information about safety in neighborhood and cities. The The app, which is available to Android and iPhone users, is free to use and is available on the App Store and Google Play. The app gives people a way to engage with their neighborhood and communities on important issues like women's safety. How it works is that the app's GIS mapping service contains location-based tracking feature which enables people with safety pin installed to track you when you want. Select the plus on the emergency and tracking line and you can start adding contacts by just putting their phone numbers or just their email addresses so that they could track you if in need. Now you can also set up your tracked sessions by simply selecting the Track Me button. The app also tells you something called a safety score. So just in case you decide moving into a new locality or visiting a new place, with Safety Pin you get to know what's the safety score of that locality or place. My Safety Pin is your personal safety go-to app to make safer decisions based on the safety score of the area as long as the app is running in the background. The app will send you alerts when you are in an unsafe location and will find the safest routes for you. You can view the alternate routes from one place to another and select the safest route. It will then transfer control to Google Maps so you can reach your destination safely.
Now those two were some really good apps, but here's the thing, it's not like you're going to ask your attacker to wait while you open an app in your phone and hit an alarm button, which is why Shake to Safety is one of my personal safety apps. Now it's available on Android for free, and as the name suggests, all you have to do is just a simple shake and your phone will send a message or make a call to a specified contact asking for help. And the message your contact receives is "Help, this is an emergency, please help me." Now once you have the app installed on your phone, you launch the app and select the phone numbers that you want should receive notifications or alerts if you're ever in trouble. Now while you choose your contacts, the app will also give you options to call them, text them, or do even both. Now another add-on to this app is that when your GPS is enabled, your exact location also gets shared with the contact. But just in case your location services are disabled, it will also send your last known location. What's more is that because Shake to Safety uses built-in SMS and phone calls, you don't need a data connection. This means anywhere you get a mobile signal, Shake to Safety will function. Now the app also lets you adjust the sensitivity of shakes as well, so one can prevent an unintended message. The app has a slider which ranges from 1 to 100, where 1 is the most sensitive and 100 is the least sensitive setting. And the default setting of the app is at 8. Shake to Safety is a perfect app for all the times you're not able to call or message anyone for help, for the times that you're traveling alone in the night or waiting for a public transport, or just simply feeling alone and not safe. Therefore, a shake might save you from any other risk.
It's time now to take a quick break on the show.
But when we come back, we continue with our Women's Safety Special here on Tech It Out. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're watching our Women's Safety Special here on Tech It Out.
Now, before the break, we showed you some apps that can help women feel a little bit safer. But the question is a smartphone enough when women are out on their own on the streets?
That's a pretty interesting question, because what will you do when you're in an emergency or you're being attacked? You certainly will not ask your attacker to wait a minute while you pull your phone out, unlock it, open an app and wait for it to send alerts out for you. It certainly will be very late by then.
But fortunately, there are some people out there who are making some really cool tech that will not only ensure your safety, but will also appeal to your fashion sensibilities. Take a look.
Women across India demand safety. Crimes against women have more than doubled over the last decade. In India, a sexual assault occurs every 22.5 minutes. It's a startling statistic which speaks volumes and paints a sad truth about India's prevailing mindset. Is there anyone who can bring about a change? Well, we don't have an answer to that. But this startup in Delhi believes they can lend a helping hand. Meet Team Leaf. Founded in 2015, the company is headed by 5 former engineering students who are obsessed with finding a technology solution to help keep women in India safe. They have launched a specially designed pendant for women which actually looks quite stunning. But there's more to it than just good looks. At the heart of it lies a small circular device called Safer. It works in 2 ways. When a threat is perceived, the user double-clicks the Safer device that's attached to the jewelry, which triggers the corresponding app. The app sends an alert to the wearer's network and sends signals to a pre-registered set of guardians. Chargeable using a micro USB, the Safer device has a 7-day battery life with just 15 minutes charging time. It's available in a variety of colors and is priced at Rs 3,500.
So the story goes back in July 2014. So that time I was living in a place called Munerka, which is next to IIT Delhi, with my younger brother. And one day I was catching a bus back to my college for a class, when I happened to talk to one of my neighbors who told me that the Nirbhaya incident happened from the same bus stop from where we are boarding the bus. So that was a trigger. Government has invested so much into our education by subsidizing it so much. Maybe it's time that we give it back with our technical knowledge. And technology is all we knew. So that's when the idea of Leaf Wearables and Safer came about, that we should tackle the problem of safety with technology.
The idea of Safer is very noble. But with the existence of multitudes of safety-oriented apps for smartphones already in the market, is Leaf Wearables really breaking new ground with this product?
Now, app is one solution that we also thought, but the biggest problem within women's safety app is that the phone is generally inside the woman's bag. Handbag. So if at all there is a situation where she needs to press the button, she'll have to take out her phone, unlock it, find an app that she normally doesn't use and then press an SOS button.
So then we realized that instead of handling the phone, in that sort of panic situation, there has to be a solution which is independent of it. And slowly and steadily it came out that we should have a magic button. Then we thought that obviously we can't make women wear a sort of an electronic looking device. So then there came the idea of pendant, and we have to make it more stylish. And
when we thought of the solution, we thought of it in a 360-degree way. One is the SOS alert. As I said, when response time is very low, you just need to double press it and the alert goes. That is one part. But apart from that, even if you don't land up in a situation where you need to send the SOS alert and you just want to take a preventive step, so you can share your live location with your loved ones and they can at all times see you moving on the maps and heading towards home or office, wherever you are headed. So it's like you are having a virtual companion along with yourself.
Another concern is that the concept of wearable technology is still not mainstream in India. Even big brands like Apple, Samsung and LG have not fared well in the Indian market with their wearable products. So how does a relatively new startup like this one intend to flourish or even survive?
See, when it comes to India, wearable technology is not an industry that has boomed or has become mainstream. If we are solving a real problem and if there is a real need of the product, then it does not matter which industry it lies in and if it's the right solution. Wearable was a good solution for the problem of safety, and that's why our wearables will work.
Leaf Wearables is India's first company to use wearable technology for safety. Going forward, they want to make this type of technology available for everyone, and has therefore decided to launch a new safety watch for kids. It's available in attractive colors and is priced at Rs 4,799.
it has been seen that the women are more paranoid about the safety of their own kids than to themselves. So it happens all the time. Now, whenever we used to go and pitch about this product in any public sort of meetings, so maximum customers used to come up to say that, yeah, you should make definitely for my kid as well, because I am very concerned.
The product Safer Kids is an outcome of a pull that we have seen from the market. We did not make it without getting a natural demand from people. People wanted Safer Kids. Safer Kids has its own GPS and GSM, so the kid has to wear it like a watch, and parents at all times can track the location of the kid. They can even set virtual areas on the map called Safer Zones. So whenever the kid enters or leaves that zone, they get a notification about it.
These guys are on a mission to make 1 million families safer and connected. Quite ambitious to say the least, and only time will tell whether it's attainable or not. But for now at least, it seems they're on the right track.
Now, safety is just as important inside as it is outside. When things go bump in the night, you want to know what they are without opening the door.
Installing security cameras around your property can do wonders to ease your mind while giving you that added protection that you very well deserve and serving as a deterrent to potential intruders.
So up next in our Quickie segment, we take a look at some smart security camera options that will help you sleep better at night.
Well, talking about safety, how can we not talk about surveillance cameras? Not only do they ensure your safety, but also give your loved ones a peace of mind while they're away and can remotely keep an eye on you. So this time in Quickie, we review 2 budget surveillance cameras. Both of them are under Rs 4,000, but which one to buy? Well, let's take a look. When it comes to safety and security, it's primarily the utility that matters and not the look. But for all those obsessed with aesthetics, no matter what it is, the Portronics Seesaw checks the design box. It's a small device with a good design and a decent build. This wireless surveillance camera is designed in a way that you can either keep it on a flat surface like a table or simply mount it. Now, pairing it with your phone is pretty easy and doesn't take that long. Once it's connected with your phone, you can remotely keep a track of whatever is happening in front of the camera right on your phone. But is the footage quality clear enough? Because at the end of the day, no matter how feature-rich it claims to be, it's the quality of the footage that matters the most. And in our test, we found the quality of the video decent enough for you to keep it tracked. Now, after all, it wouldn't be fair to expect this budget camera to provide you with high-resolution video. But let's not forget that it works excellent even in dark areas. Now, what we miss in the camera is that it doesn't cover a very wide area, so you have to be very careful about the place you choose to put it on. It also comes with a micro SD slot for you to be able to store your videos and a microphone and a speaker to be able to communicate with the person on the other end who's monitoring the ad. Well, quite like the Portronics One, the TP-Link NC220 also comes in a good build and design with quite a noticeable difference in their size. This one is slightly bigger than the first one, but to be honest, it doesn't matter much because what actually matters here is that how it performs as a camera. Well, pairing it with the phone was a cakewalk, but unlike the first one, this one gives you 2 options to connect with the network. It could be wired or it could be wireless. And more the options, better it is for the user. The camera records videos in decent quality, fair enough for you to figure out what's right there. It records in color, but the recording automatically shifts to monochrome if the area turns dark. There's also a microphone in there which records the sound. Its motion detection feature works pretty well and notifies the user if it detects any movement. Now remember that both of these are basic surveillance cameras and ideal for a small area. So understand your needs before you decide to pick up either one of them. Both of them are value for money and definitely make it to our recommendation list. Well, another timer beaten, another Quickie accomplished. How awesome am I?
Well, that's it for our women's special on Tech It Out. We really hope that was informative and will help keep all you ladies out there, including me, safe on the streets and at home.
But hey, the show isn't actually over because when we come back, we review the new LG G6 smartphone. Welcome back, you're watching Tech It Out on WION, and as promised, we're about to get you the review of the all-new LG G6. Here it is right here in my hand, and let me just tell you, this comes after the LG G5, and let's admit, it was, somewhat of a disaster. They were going for this modular concept, and basically a modular concept is when a phone is basically broken into different modules, and you can rearrange it to the way you like. But it turns out that people don't want to put in the extra effort. They want a simple phone. And you know what? LG heard them out, and they've listened, and they've said, you know what? You want a simple phone? Here is a simple phone, and that's exactly what the LG G6 is. Here, go on, check it out. Give me your first impressions.
It does look pretty simple.
What? Are you actually taking a selfie?
Supposed to be simple, right?
You know what? Just give it back.
Here you go.
Just.
Pretty cool.
Thanks for that. You sometimes really disappoint me. Okay, you like the front camera? Okay, good. So we've reviewed that. We know the front camera is good. So here's the rest of the review. This is the LG G6. Right, so let's be real. Last year's LG G5 was really ambitious, but it didn't live up to its potential. People didn't really buy into the modular concept. However, with the new LG G6, the company is trying to reinvent itself and is going back to the basics. It's the company's way of saying, look, we messed up, we are trying, and we did better. And you know what? They did do better, because the LG G6 may very well be the best phone the company's made in a very long time. So for me, the design of this phone really stands out. I mean, from far it looks pretty plain, but if you take a close look, you will realize that LG has put a lot of hard work into it. It's sleek, it's modern, it's well built, it's all glass and metal, and best of all, LG's managed to fit a large screen in a rather small body. I even like the fact that the four corners are slightly curved. It makes the phone feel just a little bit more organic and robust. Flip it over and the rear has LG's trademark fingerprint sensor, which doubles as a power button, and it isn't the fingerprint magnet you may expect. Now the G6 is a little bit thicker than other phones, but not by much, and it gives you a lot more phone to hold on to. But it's a display that actually steals the show. I mean, this phone has one of the best screens I've seen in a long time. It's bright, it's sharp, it's extremely vivid, the colors pop out, and you know what? It's entirely all screen, and if you ask me, that is a revelation. Measuring 5.7 inches and boasting an impressive 2880 by 1440 pixel resolution, the G6 has some outstanding screen specs. But those cool rounded edges and the overall size of the G6 screen isn't what makes it so special. It's actually the 18:9 aspect ratio, because watching movies in that aspect ratio is just breathtaking. Performance-wise, the G6 works well enough. It runs on last year's Snapdragon 821 chipset, and despite that works fast enough. But considering you are spending top money on this phone, you would have expected LG to give users the latest processor. There's also 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage, which is expandable via microSD card. Now the main shortcoming of this phone is the battery life. You will have to charge it every night before you sleep, so go easy on it if you're not carrying your charger on you. Another thing, the interface is a little bit sluggish. I mean, it won't lag, but if you're not a fan of LG's customized skin, then you might not appreciate this phone that much. There hasn't been a whole lot of upgrades to the camera either. Don't get me wrong, it takes good pictures, but nothing spectacular. There are 2 cameras on the back, both packing 13 megapixel cameras. One acts as your day-to-day sensor and the other is wider, giving you that GoPro look. So apart from the battery issue and the semi-good camera, the LG G6 is probably the most sensible phone the company has ever made. The only problem is that the competition out there is extremely fierce. Samsung Galaxy S8 isn't going to be an easy phone to beat, and with Apple expected to launch its 10th year anniversary phone in September, LG is going to have to fight really hard to survive. But if you don't want to go the Samsung way, or if you don't want to go the Apple way, then the LG G6 is a really good phone, and I would highly recommend it. In fact, I think you will find it pleasantly refreshing.
Now that was our LG G6 review, which seems like a pretty good phone, but how it stacks up against the Samsung S8 and the iPhone 7 remains to be seen.
And of course, we will get you a shootout between those smartphones very soon here on Tech It Out. But in the meantime, let's get a little bit nostalgic, because there's no way we can talk about LG and not talk about the most iconic smartphone maker of all time.
I think he's talking about Apple, the old Apple, the Steve Jobs Apple.
That's absolutely right, because it was about 10 years ago, in fact it was 10 years ago, when Apple launched the first iPhone, and since then we've seen many generations.
But it was innovation under the leadership of Steve Jobs that Apple and iPhone became truly revolutionary. In our next story, we take a look at that spectacular journey, so come along.
An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone.
So that was back in 2007 when Apple launched the first iPhone. Since then, the tech giant has become a poster child for how to make a disruption strategy successful over time. Apple took functions that few mobile devices had previously provided and made them accessible to millions of consumers. The older iPhones always had something unique about them. The iPhone 4 introduced Apple's multitasking system. The iPhone 5 provided apps using other developers' tools. And the subsequent generations after that, like the 5S and the 5C, took those features and improved them further. But after Steve Jobs came the iPhone 6 and its largest sibling, the 6 Plus. And the rest, as you know, is history.
These are the new iPhones, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. They are without a doubt the best iPhones we've ever done. And I hope you'll agree, they're the best phones you have ever seen.
Both the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus were game changers for Apple, and I don't mean that in a good way. Now don't get me wrong, the iPhone 6's largest size did make Apple a lot of money, but it also sent out a message that Apple wasn't innovating anymore. After the iPhone 6, Apple's way of thinking began to radically change. The old Apple was slowly disappearing, and this is not me being overdramatic. Even the new iPad Pro has a stylus, something that Steve Jobs despised.
Who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away and you lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus.
It's called Apple Pencil.
Yes, the iPhones were getting bigger and iPads were getting their own pencils for some reason. The very same disruption process that has made Apple so successful at capturing growth from other industries is also happening elsewhere in the smartphone industry. Apple is also getting plenty of competition at the low end of the market. Samsung was first, of course, but now there's also Xiaomi and many other companies with similar smartphone offerings. This situation has not mattered until now for Apple because no smartphone maker is really disrupting the market anymore. Now, just because Apple has stopped disrupting industries with their iPhones doesn't mean there are no more industries to disrupt. On the contrary, I believe there's plenty of room for smartphones to disrupt, and that's exactly why I feel I would love to have the old Apple back. Well, that's it for this edition of Tech It Out. We really hope you enjoyed the show.
We will see you same time next week, but until then, reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook @WION_TechItOut is our Twitter handle.
Thank you for watching.
Tech It Out, co-powered by the new Nissan Terrano. Smarter, bolder.